Hello and welcome to Small Business, Big Life, inside Fort Orange General Store, where entrepreneurship meets marriage, kids, but mostly controlled chaos. I'm Joe Slichko, and with me, as always, giggling in the background, is my wife, business partner, and owner of Fort Orange General Store, Erica Cubello.
Don't you love that, though? Doesn't it make you feel great to have like your own little giggle reel?
It really does.
Yeah, you always get mad at me when I don't laugh at you.
Which is 99% of the time.
And then now when I'm giving you that positive reinforcement, giggling, because isn't that the sincerest form of, like, I would think, laughter? A giggle is cute. It's excited. It's like, oh.
So I just need to always have a microphone in your face? Can do.
No, you were being nice, though.
Oh, here we go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, on this episode...
Hi, everyone.
As I was saying, on this episode, we are going to talk about the brain of the entrepreneur and how it never turns off.
Ever.
But also manifests itself sometimes in the craziest of ways, in the weirdest situations.
I mean, it makes sense to me.
That's the crazy part.
Right?
Yeah.
You're inspired by things.
All the time.
By life.
That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
But before we get there, you know what we have to do? We have to remind all our amazing listeners who have already got us over that episode 22 hump, as we sit here today at episode 23, to once again, please keep liking, subscribing, sharing, share this episode or one of your favorite episodes with a new listener per chance. And please just keep pushing for us like you always do.
Yes. Thank you so much to everybody who follows along. Or if you're just tuning in, that means the world to us as well, because when we gain a new listener, it just creates our community and makes it that much stronger. So thank you all for being here and listening to us today.
So, our brains.
Our brains are wild.
Yeah, they're interesting to begin with. But let's just talk about them in terms of business.
Okay.
Because this could go a thousand different ways.
Yeah, it's the safest thing right now.
Yes, we can't unleash that. So, as business owners, and it's probably true for any walk of life, but we're talking about business owners, and that's what this podcast is about. So I'm not neglecting every other aspect of life and personality traits and interests and all of that. It's just not what we're talking about. So when a situation presents itself, it's natural, and I think it's hard to not, I don't know if analyze is the right word, but constantly think about it in terms of, if this was my business, how would I interact with this? If this was mine, what would that mean for me? If I was doing it, how would I do it differently?
Okay, I think we need to coin a new term.
What's that?
All right, so you know how there's metacognition?
Yes,
thinking about your thinking. We need to coin the term, some term. I don't have that yet.
Oh, that was a big lead in. I was really excited
I know. I saw it. You were holding your breath in anticipation. I'm sorry. Something about, because our brains are, is it meta business thinking? Is it?
It probably exists in some textbook somewhere we never read.
Meta. This is the crazy part of our brains. Yeah, meta businessation.
I think you're proving the point now about the point of the episode and the way our brains don't work sometimes. But let's put a pin in that, come back to it, because at 3 a.m, we're going to wake up with this really cool
I'm going to figure it out by the end of the night.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. So anyway, something presents itself. We're constantly thinking about it and trying to adapt it. And that happens in a multitude of ways. And I think we have 2 examples where it's kind of happened where we have been ancillary to the thing. Now, normally we're like in it and we're actively investigating something. Right. But there's 2 examples that have happened to others that we have been kind of brought in on or experienced just because they're family.
Right. We've been having the conversations with them.
Absolutely. So let's start with our daughter.
Yes.
Who has recently got a job.
Very proud.
Absolutely. She's been working in a daycare setting for the summer camp. But as that has come to a close, she just recently got hired at a national kind of quick service food type chain that just opened here in Albany.
Mm-hmm.
And by just open, I mean like in the last 2 weeks. So she's the first cohort of employees at this location.
Right.
It is a franchise, so it's not a new business model.
Right.
Although you wouldn't know it.
No.
The experience for her has been 2 days of training.
Not even.
Well,
it was a
one
day
of which was
watching a video.
Watching all the videos.
Yeah.
And then 1 day of in-person training. And then they opened the next
Their grand
day.
opening was 1 day of how to work, and then you're supposed to have like this line out the door type of day. It made no sense, but we kind of bit our tongues because she was super excited about it, and we want her to be excited. But it was wild. It's been wild to sit through and hear.
And not having, owned a franchise ourselves, I'm learning a lot because I expect when you buy into a franchise, you're buying into not just the name and the products that you're offering, but the SOPs, the manuals, the way we do things around here.
Right.
The whole point of buying a franchise, because it's ready-made and just turned over and there's brand recognition.
Yeah.
They are starting from scratch.
It's like there's nothing. They didn't get anything. It's basically like they just bought the name and like, here you go, whatever. But it doesn't make any sense because, again, like Joe said, it's a nationally like recognized business that if you're buying into that, you're not like spending a few $1,000s. It's a lot of money that you have to put down to get, like Joe just said, all the playbooks, everything, all the recipes, all the design. And I mean, to not be able to like have the same rules on the first day you're working, and then it's like different the next day you come in, and by the end of the week it's something totally different. It's mind-boggling.
And I do want to say that the owners have multiple franchises, not just with this business, but with other companies as well.
Right.
Also franchises.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's their first time they're figuring it out too. Staffing, when the schedule comes out
the day before, that's so frustrating. Like everything that we are finding out, like, and I understand that's one way to do business, right? Like if that's for you, that's for you, but it's certainly not for us. And we just cannot believe how inefficiently run this is. I mean, we're nowhere near having like perfect systems, or
Lord, no.
We do change things when we see it's not working well, but it's not every other day.
And we're not selling it for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like, we know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
To replicate
right
across the world.
It's weird.
It's crazy.
I really don't want her to work there anymore, but I know like she's happy. She likes it.
She loves the people.
Yeah.
That she's working with, not so much for. Some of them she does, but
okay.
That's like 50-50 depending on who's on that day. But no, she likes the environment. It's close to home. She enjoys it. She likes to work, which is really cool to watch.
Yeah, it's nice to see her be prideful, and she's like a different person now that she has a job.
Yeah. Happy.
And I think it's, a different perspective. She kind of understands the different role she's in, and then when she's not at work, how to be, right?
Yes. Oh, proud dad story. All right. So she gave me a compliment, which, never,
she didn't
never
really,
happens. Because
she didn't realize
she didn't know it.
Yeah.
But I don't care about that. It was really a compliment. So she's saying, she goes, I was at the register. She's talking to us over dinner. And she goes, you wouldn't believe how people just don't know how to order. She goes, I'm socially awkward, but this was like next level. Like, she goes, I'm not trying to say I'm better than anybody, but I at least know how to stand in a line and order something. And then I am beaming at this point, right? Probably like purple. I'm like, that's because what I'm hearing you say is that I trained you, if you will, over the years on how to function in society while you were kicking and screaming and yelling at me and telling me that I was ridiculous and why would you have to do that and why does it matter to understand social cues and all the other things. Now you see it all playing out in front of you, and I will take that as the biggest thank you you can give me. As she rolled her eyes and walked away.
Yeah.
But it was a win.
It was a win, Joe. You should definitely hang your hat on that.
Well, I am.
Yes.
Few and far between, but I'm taking it.
Yep. Good job, Joe.
And I think that story will transition into what we're going to talk about mostly today. Do you want to cue up the scenario?
Yeah. So my brother, my baby brother, youngest of 5, love him to death. And our kids love him to death. Like, he is the cool funkle, right?
Funkle. Fun uncle.
Coined that term, funkle. So anyways, Funkle, we'll call him Funkle B. He is leaving. He's leaving home. The last little birdie is flying the nest at 26 years old. But hey, we're proud of him.
Happy birthday, Funkle B. Why can't we call him Brian, by the way?
I don't know. We can.
All right. We're just going to call him Brian from this point
Cool.
on. All right.
Funkle Bry. All right. So baby Bry is leaving home, and not for just, another city nearby, town nearby. No, he's going down to New York City, the biggest one there is, right? So, like, he dropped this on us on our 10-year-old's birthday. And my jaw dropped. I didn't know that he had even left the job that he was in. Okay, so, Brian is a go-getter. He's a people person. Like, you meet him, you immediately fall in love and feel like you are the best person in the world and have all of the greatest ideas and are like, he's your hype man.
Yes, he's everyone's hype man in the most genuine ways possible.
Exactly.
Like, he's not a BSer and he's snickering behind your back. There's not a bad bone in his body.
So positive.
And he was in finances.
Right. He worked in finance from the time he graduated college. So 22, maybe 21, he got a job real fast. Super smart. People love him. He's a Cubello. He got right in from the ground up. So he's in finance now.
And he doesn't even know this, but he was working for a company that I know people from my past, growing up and whatnot, friends of mine. And when I heard that he was working there, I think the first thing I said to you, and this is the part he doesn't know, is Brian will not fit in there.
You did.
And that's not a negative towards Brian.
Right.
That's a negative towards them in that world. Brian's better than that.
Yeah.
Brian's too good of a person to be in that world.
Right. And he's slowly figured that out. And we're very proud of him. So yeah, he was at that job for a long time, and he put in the work, and they were not moving him. They were hiring people instead of promoting within. And that was really, like, you don't do that. That's not good business. So he got out of that, and he got another really awesome job at a local finance place. And he did that for like a year, but he was just miserable and not himself. And he wasn't coming around like he used to. And when we did see him, he was not Brian. So he ultimately came to the realization that he had to get out. And when he told us this, I was like so proud of him. And he said it in kind of like an embarrassed, like shameful way. And I was like, are you kidding me, Brian? Like, no, like you figured this out at such a young age. It's incredible. Like, just trying to hype him up because that's what he always does for everybody else. And honestly, like, this was my path too. Like, I had a lot of figuring out and discovery to do in my early career. And like, we're just so proud of him for figuring this out like 10 years earlier, So like a month goes by. Now he's leaving for New York City today as we speak. So we had a little going away and birthday party for him last night. And Joe and I got a little bit more one-on-one time and to actually hear about the business that he's working for, what he's going to be doing, and like hear his excitement and enthusiasm. And like he's just radiating right now. But as he's telling us these stories, both of our brains are like taking off like questions. We're taking notes like, all right, well, what about this? And how does that work? And okay, so we're trying to hold back and be very, very positive and excited for him. But at the same time, we're looking at the situation as small business owners. And how are you going to translate this amazing software idea that works for giant conglomerate corporations and help our 5-person operation down in Albany, you know?
Exactly. And it was funny because I'm watching you as he's talking and I can see your brain doing the same thing my brain's doing and trying not to be negative, trying not to, do those things. But in my mind, I'm going, Bri, if you called me as a small business owner, I'm not listening to this pitch.
No.
It does not resonate with me. I'm not saying that out loud.
Right.
I mean, I just did now, so he's going to hear that. But
I think we got there with him now.
Yes. I'm trying to play it through in my head. And he gets to a point where as he's explaining more and more, it's starting to make sense. And I think he's like honing his sales pitch on the fly as he's talking to us, which was cool. He's not even there yet. So like he shouldn't have it yet.
He's so excited.
Absolutely. And then we started to ask a couple follow-up questions. Like you said, how could you roll this out to a small business? Because I think that's an untapped market for you.
Mm-hmm.
And no, it's not the Fortune 500, but those accounts are already taken care of.
Right.
You're not going to just walk in and hand that to you.
Right.
Plus, it's already done.
Yeah.
How can you cast a wider net and help actual small businesses who need your service, but don't have the person or persons to sit in front of the computer and run the software that you're selling?
Mm-hmm.
And then we started to pitch ideas to them.
Right.
Does your company have, or could you think about, hiring a person or consulting with somebody or contracting with somebody who could do this for 5, 6, 7 small businesses very easily from their basement if they wanted to, their home office,
right?
Because that's what they're dedicated to, where we can't afford to hire somebody full-time to do that. We're so strapped, we can't do it ourselves, but to have that information and someone giving it to us would be mind-blowing.
Yeah. What he's doing and the company that he's going to be working for tomorrow sounds like it could really make a big difference to a small business like us, because not only is it finding out information about our own company, business, what have you, you can ask it to search other businesses that are like yours or that are doing seemingly well, and what are people saying about that? Where are their strengths? Where are their weaknesses? How can we bridge that gap in what we're doing? So like, I think the information that he's going to be selling is important.
But what do you do with it?
How do you use it?
It's the same thing with data in the education world.
Right.
We have all this data, but we can't actually tell a story with it because we don't know how to tell the story with it. And then B, what do you do with it once you have it?
Right. Because the company that he's working for is only thinking of those big corporations that can have a marketing team, a PR team, a social media team. Great. That's amazing. But how can you think smaller? Right?
Right.
I mean, not in a negative way.
No, it's just different.
Yeah.
You're hitting a different market share now.
Right.
And you're growing and expanding because of it. So we're telling him about this.
Mm-hmm.
And he was extremely thankful. And he's like, oh my God, this is amazing, blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to bring this up and pitch it.
And I was like, stop, like in my mind, like red flags going off. No, you don't. This is your out. This is your break off. This is how you're going to make it big. don't say a word.
And that's the brain of the entrepreneur right there.
We problem solved something. Like in every situation that we're in, I think that's what we do is we're trying to figure out, okay, that's cool, that works, but what is the gap there? What's missing?
And don't give your ideas and intellectual property away.
No, because both of us, you and I, Joe, have been burned in the past with that.
Absolutely.
And I mean, it's a hard thing to rein in and control, because when you do have that enthusiasm and excitement, and like maybe you are brand new and you want to go in and show them what you've got and that you are a valuable asset by bringing these ideas to them, you're giving it away.
Right. What's to stop them from taking the idea? And if and when down the line you part ways, you don't get to take that with you.
Right.
And they're going to keep making money on it.
Yeah. So I think I need to call him and be like, don't ask those questions on your first day. Don't ask them on your 50th day. Keep that to yourself. And you and I can figure out how to make that work for you.
Right. Because my point was find someone that you trust, that you can contract with, that you can, suggest to people,
right,
to the small businesses to do that next level work. You get a commission on the finder's fee because you have to make money off it too, Bri. And everyone, benefits from it.
Yeah.
Be in business for yourself.
Yes.
Why work for others? It makes no sense.
Do what you have to do.
And I wish I knew that a long time ago.
Yeah, I know. That's kind of like how I lived with Seriously Spotless for a long time. Like, how can I do both? Because I know what I have is really valuable, but I can't do that alone yet. So you kind of just have to plug away and keep working at both until you've met and got into a point in your life where you can make it work for yourself.
Correct. But I think we've also come lately to the conclusion, and in searching guidance in a number of different areas and different realms, if you will, that that's never going to happen unless you go all in.
Well, this is true.
And do the thing.
Yeah, there's never going to be a right time.
You can't play
the
it
perfect
safe.
time, a good time. There's just got to be that, like, that jump, that leap of faith, and a knowing in yourself that this is it.
And if you're disciplined enough in yourself to know that you're going to make it work no matter what, and that can get scary and that can get weird and that can get uncomfortable and that can mean, all your habits change or go out the window or you downsize or, God forbid, any of those things. But if you know that despite those things, you are the type of person that's going to make it happen, then you do it.
Right.
Because the only thing holding you back at that point is yourself and your fear of making that decision.
Yeah. And you don't want that on your conscience. Like, you'll never forgive yourself for not taking that risk. You can always go back out and get another job.
Exactly.
Yeah. But you might wait way too long and you're in too deep, and now you're 50, 60 years old, and starting that idea at that point really might not be a realistic possibility for you. So,
and that's something that Brian said last night. He came to that realization as well, after doing his own research and everything else was, I'm not going to wait until it's too late to start living for me.
Right.
And that was extremely, I don't know, that hit me.
Very wise.
Very wise. It was really cool to hear. And the other thing that we were talking about last night was how non-linear life really is.
Yes.
And just because he's standing there at 26 years old,
right,
that doesn't mean the next thing he does, he has to do for the rest of his life. And that doesn't mean what he did already was a failure because he's not doing it anymore.
Correct.
He was very successful in what he was doing. He just didn't like it.
Yeah.
We were very successful in previous careers.
Yep.
We just didn't like it. We don't like working for other people.
Right.
That's not failure. That's learning. That's growth. That's evolving.
Completely.
So if he does this new job for any period of time, a month, 6 years, 20 years, as long as it's valuable to him, that's success.
Right. As long as you can wake up every day and be excited to do what you do and not get the Sunday scaries.
Right.
Or like dread driving into work or being there for an extended amount of time. Like you want to find something where you don't want to leave, where you take your work home, where you're so inspired that it never turns off. Like that's what I think we've found right now. And when we were standing there talking to Brian and he's saying that about like how it's not linear and like maybe this door will open or this door will open, I'm standing there like bursting with excitement because as we alluded to in a previous episode, we've got this giant exciting thing that we're on the cusp of. And it's like a year ago, we would have never thought we were here. What? How? Why? Us? Oh my God. No way. Like all those things. And like we're not there yet to like say anything. So it is kind of a secret, but listening to him say this to us, we're 13, 15 years older than him and he's already got that information. Like it's just so exciting to see somebody else understanding and taking a risk and betting on themselves because we know that it's possible. Like you can do it if you want to, and you're going to be so happy and so elated and feel freed by following your inner knowing, right?
And it was funny. One of the comments he made was, I'm going from finance and I'm going into sales.
Yeah.
And those are two totally different, industries. They're not. But, to him in his world, they are. And he goes, and who knows what the future might bring? It might be something totally different. And I want to be like, Brian, look at us. Your sister goes from, being an art teacher to owning her own cleaning business to making her own cleaning supplies to being a small business owner and just wait
in
a
the
little
middle
bit longer.
Of some of that, like I went to hair school, I had a couple kids, like my life has been so nonlinear, like incredibly, but that's that I feel like living a full life, like go for it. Don't hold back. I mean, sometimes you have to wait it out a little bit to be safe, but don't ever let go of that inner fire, passion, creativity. Like, don't think it's not possible. And that's what he's figuring out right now. And it's very exciting to see this. I'm very proud of him, very excited for him.
And since you asked, yes, mine was the same. Thanks, Erica.
I would love to hear it, Joe. Why don't you please explain for our listeners how yours has transpired?
Since you asked, I'll tell you. From very early on in my career as a Catholic school principal, learning how to run a business, which is what I did there, not knowing that's what I was actually doing.
You got tons of prior experience.
Absolutely. And then that went into all of my data analysis and scheduling and seeing the world as a puzzle and putting it together. And then that went into, I got my doctorate in leadership and, those systems levels thinking. That's what I do. And now here we are.
Right.
Building this business and
figuring
the future.
It all out. Yep.
And it's the perfect balance, you and I, of those experiences coming together, never knowing it was going to be what it's about to become.
Right.
It doesn't matter what it's called along the way. It doesn't matter the vehicle that you're learning through along the way.
Right.
We learned what we needed to learn without knowing it at the time.
Right.
So that these experiences that are about to just blow up, and Fort Orange, which is blowing up, are there, ready, and when they present themselves, we can jump on them.
Yes.
Because we positioned ourselves unknowingly and unwittingly by doing all the things that interested us at the time.
I know. It's wild. It's incredible. Like, people come in and will ask me, so how do you like being down here? What is it like? And I my response to everybody is always, this is my dream job. This is everything I have ever wanted without knowing. That everything that I have done in my life, from babysitting to working as a bartender or waitress, to working in a jewelry store, to teaching, every single part of my prior experience has gotten me here. And I can take from each of those jobs, careers, whatever it was, and apply it here. Even my learning, my college, all of it. And if you are just willing to go with it and be open, right? What we're talking about, be open to the possibilities and that it could really be a reality. You got to.
Right. Just go into the situation, whatever that is, saying, what can I learn from this?
What can I learn from this? Be confident in what you've done. Yeah, be confident in yourself.
And then apply it.
Yeah.
Just because it's not in the bucket that you think it should have been doesn't mean it's not transferable. I mean, we talk in CTE all the time about transferable skills.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter if you're in cosmetology or a plumber. Can you show up to work on time? Can you, all the soft skills? The answer is yes. That's what we're preparing. It's transferable. Can you work with your hands? Yes. Then you can do these 99 different, career paths.
Right.
It doesn't matter what the label on it is, I guess is what I'm saying, or where the training came from, or what the training was, earmarked for. Oh, that was for master scheduling in a school system.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. I can apply that to a dozen other things.
Right.
And I do on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And this is what Brian was talking about too, about how he was almost, I think in his mind, selling himself short. Why would they want me in this interview? But then he was getting that on the spot feedback from them. By the way, this interview, I guess, was only supposed to be an hour. They kept him for an hour and a half. And we're building him up. You're the kind of person we want here. You bring this type of energy here. So it's not always about what experience you have or what you know. It's who you are. So if you're confident in yourself and who you are, you're going to be just fine. You're going to rock it out.
The last anecdote that I'll share, and then we can end, is that's exactly what I do now in career and technical education. So I hire plumbers. I hire HVAC technicians. I hire cosmetologists, chefs, you name it. They're not teachers, but they're coming into the teaching field. So when I interview for, do you have experience? Do you know your craft? And do you like kids? If you can do those things, I will turn you into a teacher.
Yeah.
And that's why I love this job, because that's what I do. And then I turn these people, not me personally, our team, obviously, we turn them into teachers. And that's the fun of it. It's the same thing Brian's doing.
Yes.
They're going to turn him into a salesperson, quote unquote, because of his experience, his knowledge, his charisma, his passion, and all those factors that they're looking for, similar to what I'm looking for, and just a different way. So just be you, like you said, hone your craft, whatever that is, and put yourself in a position to find yourself sitting at the right table. How's that?
I like that analogy. Quite fitting for what we've been feeling.
It was a fun table to sit at.
It sure was. What a wild ride life is.
It really is.
I know it's extremely vague, but it's true.
It's killing us not to share this with all of our amazing listeners. I want you guys to know that. But when we finally do, you'll understand why. And we thank you for going on the ride with us, because it's a crazy one.
Hey, it's what our show's about, right? We've got a big life. We own a small business, and it's chaotic, right?
And it's awesome.
Sure is, Joe.
All right, let's wrap it up there and drop some comments.
When have you bet on yourself?
When have you bet on yourself? Where
did you start?
And where are you now?
Exactly.
And what's the most shocking thing either that you started with and ended up at, or a twist in the
I want to
middle.
know what you learned.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And what you learned about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that, and I'm thinking back to some of the Instagram comments that we've read in the past, people sharing very personal stories about what they learned about themselves when they bet on themselves.
Which is so powerful.
Very powerful.
Last year, Erin told me that she couldn't believe how fortunate she was that she was able to bet on herself. And had she not, she would still be in a pretty miserable place. And that if you just take that leap of faith, you have endless possibilities and you won't even believe where you are. And sitting here today, that was like what I needed to hear, to know that what I was feeling, what we were feeling, Joe, was what we needed to go with and chase. And had she not said that to me, we might not be sitting where we are right now, in a very, very lucky, grateful position for all the chances we took and the people that have bet on us and believed in us. So surround yourself with really positive people, bet on yourself, and you will be amazed at what a year can bring for you.
And there's also power in listening to the negativity around you and using it to fuel your decision makings for the future. So what I mean by that is, if you can hear the negativity and understand what it means and where it's coming from, and then have your superpower be to harness that and use it as the fuel to not bring you down, I think that is also a very powerful trait, because that negativity is always going to be there. You're never going to live in a world where everything's just roses and rainbows.
Right.
But if you can see it for what it is and be confident in yourself to recognize it, that's power as well.
Yeah. You're not always going to have everybody on your side, but you have to be able to hear it, be okay with it, and believe in yourself.
And realize why they're not on your side. And it's 99% of the time because they're not confident, they're jealous, they're unhappy.
Right.
And don't own that.
That's not for you.
Use it. Motivate yourself with it.
Well, I think we've given a lot of really good advice right here.
Thank you for coming to our TED Talk today. And as always, we thank you all for letting us ramble. And we kind of did that at the end there. But we love you and we appreciate it. And we will always ramble with you. And we look forward to doing so again with you on
Small Business, Big Life, inside Fort Orange General Store.